Well, we made it to 2 years, so here we are. Wicked crazy Pinfalls. I always wanted to say this to someone. What's up, Doc?
Hey man, how's it going?
Not much. Just having somebody wanting to be in the shot all the time. So I'm not gonna fight it. This is Lily, by the way. Um,
Hi
so,
Lily, if you
t-
can hear me. Probably not.
oh, here we go. Look who outpicks everybody.
Oh, it's the anniversary show! Throwback! Happy
Hey,
anniversary, brother! I got
hey,
like
look.
a few minutes, but I wanted to say hi and congratulate you on what, 3 years of this now?
Two, and you
Man,
and Rob and Anakin were the first three that started
that's
as
right.
guests on here.
OG Crazy Wicked Pinfalls champion. That title should be mine. But said I'm outraged.
You had a shot at that title.
Yeah, I deserve another one. Brock Lesnar schedule, baby.
You don't fulfill your contract though for that Brock Lesnar stuff.
I do what I gotta do. The boss has got me by the balls. You know how that goes. He's gonna yell at us tonight here in about 20 minutes.
Yeah. We're just hanging out, just shooting the shit like we always do. Last year when we did the 1 year anniversary, Pluggo basically took over for like an half hour before everything went down. Have you ever talked to Doc in a while, like on virtually, other than Twitter?
I have not.
No,
Well,
we've exchanged some friendly Twitter messages here and there,
Yes.
but yeah, this is our first time on a podcast together.
Well, Doc, let's hang out. Let's make podcast magic.
All right, I'm down.
I'm
I'm in podcast mode today. I had a conference call with Tony this afternoon, and this is my third random podcast today. I just got done talking about Doctor Strange with Phil Lindsay and Tom Clark, so I'm looking forward to talking about some wrestling again.
Hell, Pluggo's watching the whole Star Wars series right now.
Like for the first time?
Yes.
Yeah.
For the first time ever.
What order are you going in? Are you going chronological or are you going timeline order?
Release date.
So you started with episode 4 that they call it now, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I genuinely think that's the right way to go, because then you're not going from like shiny special effects to old special effects back to shiny.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I accidentally started with Return of the Jedi. And of course,
yeah, he went ass backwards. Yes.
So you're probably so lost, just like, wait, who's Darth Vader? What's going on?
I was like 20 minutes into because I posted it on Twitter, so everybody knew I was doing my homework. And everybody goes, with all due respect, why'd you start there? And I go, I have no idea what I'm doing, guys. Like 13 different people said watch it 13 different ways. So yeah, I'm in watching Star Wars, doing my thing. Had to stop in before I get ready for my big show tonight, saying throwback, congratulations, brother. I appreciate you always having me on whenever I feel like popping in.
Your family, you know that. You're just like the distant cousin that literally gets drunk and wants to walk in when he feels like it.
I know, and I don't even drink. That's the crazy part. This is all sober, baby.
And the fun part is that, like, with me and Pluggo, I got a bunny running around on me. Yeah. It's just, I reached out to him and he reached out to me to do his stuff when he was doing stuff on Anchor, and he's kind of slacking there. I have been too, but still, it's like, that's how it started with me and him and talking. It would just naturally progress, and he just was literally on like it. That's what everybody jokes around in the community. They like say, hey, Throwback's like the NXT of the community, because everybody that's been on a show has gone off to better things. So, I mean,
well, we might get fired tonight. Spenny Love is joining us at 8, so he might end up firing me. So I might be back. You never know.
Hey, you're always welcome. You know that.
But like I said, much love, Doc. Hit me up on Twitter. Throwback, congratulations, brother. Have a killer show. I hope to see more people popping in, kicking it with you. I got to go hang out with the big dog, get ready for tonight. Like I said, boss is coming. Got to make sure our finances are in order so we don't get fired.
They're never in order. Who you shitting?
Fake it till you make it, brother. All right. Much love,
no,
guys.
you never do.
Take it easy, Pluggo.
Peace.
Bye. That's
all
what's
right.
going to happen.
You just
most
cleared
of the time.
something up for me. I was going to ask, do I need to keep a PG, but
Oh no, tonight, no. Hell, I had a bunny running on me. We have a bunny here at the house, and Lily put him on me, and it's just like now I got hair of bunny, which is awesome.
Nice.
No, it's just tonight. It's just gonna be fun, and it we can talk about really anything. Like NXT for me was kind of okay this week. I primarily cover that for Body Slam. I have a minion on my head.
I don't think I watched. What was I doing during NXT this week?
Most of what people do on NXT, they just don't watch it, which is sad, and I cover that.
I was in a Twitter space for like almost the entire show with a bunch of people. I don't know if you know. Do you know Mimi? She's
I think I've heard of her.
Black Wrestling Podcast. I think her handle is the Wrestling Chick.
I think I've seen it, but I haven't talked to her.
Her and Ellis, who everybody knows as the shocked face guy when the Undertaker lost at WrestleMania 30.
Oh yeah.
Except you wouldn't recognize him now because he's lost so much weight, but those two host a regular space on Tuesdays, and sometimes I'll hop in and hang out. So I think I was doing that. I saw like little bits and pieces, but I had the show on mute, so you could fill me in because I really don't even know what happened.
They've got Gacy doing basically like, Undertaker / meets Bray Wyatt, NXT, trying to be a main roster Fiend and stuff. It's like that whole Ted Bundy philosophy kind of thing where he's like, and he's going after Braun. So they're showing like stuff for him about his past, like, there was like a picture on there about something happened 20 years ago when his dad was in Japan, a football game when he scored the touchdown when his dad was away, like certain things that were trying to make him snap. I mean, this week's NXT was mostly heavily women's matches, and Nikita Lyons got basically got pulled from the Breakouts women's tournament. So,
I read that.
I mean,
yeah. And that's a legit injury, right?
I don't know, really. I'm not going to speculate anything on that stuff. It's just.
I think that was reported at some point. I think Fightful may have posted some kind of update. I just might not have read it. I can't remember at this point.
Yeah, for me, it's like there's so many things going on too. But for NXT, it was pretty decent, better than the previous weeks. Like, it's weird with the 2.0. I don't know what your feelings on it, but with 2.0, it feels like it goes in waves and stuff. Like 1 week, it will, for a regular show, it'll be really great. It'll be like nonstop. It'll be fun to watch, and then the next one, there's 3 shitbags in a row, and then that one good one beforehand. But it seems like WWE recently has been doing a lot worse on their go-home shows that I've noticed through a few things, like watching the social media stuff, what people are saying, everything. And then what they used to, in the, Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, where they were like, literally, they put all the chips on the line to get you invested into that show. And now it's just like, whatever, who cares? Like, am I interested in watching Hell in the Cell? Honestly, not really. I mean, am I going to watch In Your House? Yes, I watch In Your House. But other than that, it's just, not much WWE. I mean, has that wavered with you too? Like, you see the product like not as great as it used to be, and you're just like, why am I watching this?
So NXT is one of the shows that I don't cover for Bleacher Report. So it's totally optional for me to watch it. Most weeks I do, or at least put it on in the background while I'm doing something else. But for me, it all comes down to which characters are being featured, because there are some great people in NXT 2.0 and there's some really bad stuff. Like, this is no knock against the talents. It's mostly against the way they're being booked. But like Von Wagner does nothing for me. I really don't care about the Toxic Attraction stuff anymore, even though I'm probably nicer about what I feel with Mandy Rose than most people. Like, I think Mandy actually is a very valuable person. Gigi and JC are great, but it's just run its course. So it all comes down to, like, I hate the Joe Gacy stuff, but I love Bram Breaker, so that feud's really weird. Like, it's so strange. But They have some really bright stars there. Carmelo is great. Trick is so funny with him. The Creed brothers, like even without Bivens, are still fun to watch. But man, losing Bivens,
was just
not having Bivens on TV anymore, like instantly made that show 10% less enjoyable because every week Bivens did something great.
He actually pushed the needle a lot more than people thought. Like I went back and watched some of the old shows with him and without him now, and he literally like pushed the narrative for them when it was just stale for a certain period. Like he would just pop in and just say something and just pop out, and it would push the storyline. It wouldn't just be like go all the way up into second gear and then it just drops into neutral and it just stays there and you're trying to go into like a fifth gear off the bat. It doesn't work that way. It's just you can tell, even though the Creed brothers and Diamond Mine as a whole is still good, you can tell a little bit that they're trying to make Roddy the mouthpiece when he's not a great mouthpiece at all. He can do the stuff on the mic. That's not a problem. It's just for a group, I don't see him as the person that runs the show. I think he's the guy I think he's like the HBK and he needs a Triple H kind of thing with DX. Like when they were both working together, they need both each other to work off of each other. And Roddy doesn't have that.
Yeah, I also
they're
feel
trying
like
to find that too.
I don't know if maybe this is just me, but I really miss Roddy as a babyface. I feel like he was better at it than he is as a heel, because he's such an exciting performer to watch in the ring. Like when he just starts throwing up everybody for backbreakers, the crowd goes nuts. So I'd like to see him transition back to babyface personally. I think that would be better for the group too, because people love the Creed brothers, and let's face it, you could easily make Ivy Nile a fan favorite.
You could do a lot of things with that group, and there's so much, but also main roster, there's not a lot of main roster groups other than the Judgment Day and the Bloodline that you can be like, oh, great. Well, if you put, the Diamond Mine up there with them, or, Elgato del Fantasma, sorry, brain fart. But it's just, if you put both of them up there, they probably will end up just being taken apart, because that's the way they look at it. Yeah, and it's not the fairest thing to do. If you're going to let somebody fall on their face, let them at least, get them the chance to get themselves up.
Has any group from NXT survived being called up? Like Hit Row was gone within weeks. Sanity was like nothing was done with them. Undisputed Era never got a chance on the main roster. Like, has there been a single stable that has actually made the jump and been successful? I can't think of any.
I can't other than it was built on the main roster. That's about it.
Right.
I mean, it's interesting to see what they can do with these guys, because once they don't have these people, let's say Breaker goes up and he joins Judgment Day. Well, there's other people that could be doing that too. It's just the only one I could possibly see pull out if they do it right is Diamond Mine, because I figured that after this point they would have pulled Elgato del Fantasma up already with Santos and his crew, and they haven't. So something's keeping them in NXT right now, and that's the main question. What are you going to do with these 8 individuals and stuff, going forward? And if you're not going to put them on the main roster, well, what's going to be next? It feels weird. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love what I've been calling, Tony D'Angelo's faction. I call them the Familia. That's Italian for family. Yeah, hopefully I'm saying that right. But the turf war idea is a great thing because it keeps all of them on TV. It keeps them doing something fresh and stuff like that. But I don't know how much that's going to last, because you never know. That might just go short term and just die off right off the bat. So
yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, you never know what from NXT they're actually going to cling on to. Like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were 2 acts that came from NXT and have both continued to be great, but not a lot of stuff from NXT over the last few years that has been brought up have really found success. Like Rhea's kind of an exception, but even she should have been booked a little better. But like, look at Shayna. Shayna had that amazing call up in the Elimination Chamber, destroying all those other women. She should have won at WrestleMania, but she didn't. And now look at her. She's in a feudal tag team with Natalia that we haven't seen in a little while. Like, I don't know.
And it's one of those, like, they, especially when I don't get that, I see AEW does really well, but other people don't, is what I don't. Hey, what's up? There's the co-producer and co-owner of freaking Wicked Crazy Pinfalls. What's up, Rob?
Hey, boys. All right, there we go. How are you
Hey,
guys
he went
doing?
with the fuzzy. He went with the classic fuzzy background, like he did in the beginning when he first started.
Yeah, I'm at my parents' house, so I'm like, yeah, I don't really think that they want their stuff shown. So
it's just with like WWE itself compared to AEW. I don't understand, like, why are they acting the way they do? Like, hold on. Yeah, I know.
Hi.
I ordered dinner. There's Rob. Babe, say you can probably hear her. She's probably in the background somewhere.
Chris, how you doing, man?
Good, dude. How are you?
Good. You excited for tomorrow?
Hell yeah.
Good. Good.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting watching you guys on camera and me being off camera at work. But I just wanted to say this too, because I don't get a chance to be on with Rob that much. Is that Rob basically, and it's funny because we were talking about this last night, me and Rob, that he kind of set the tone for Wicked Crazy Pinfalls. So it's fun to have him on the 2-year, and with you, Doc, because now both of you guys are going to set the next year for me and make me all excited to see what happens next, you know.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's awesome. Not a lot of podcasts end up lasting 2 years. People give up so quickly on podcasts. I've known a lot of people who are like, I'm starting this show, and 9 weeks later, it's oh, hey, how's your show going? Oh, we decided to scrap that. So yeah, man. I mean, just being able to consistently keep churning it out for 2 years is you should be proud of that.
Well, I can say this much. Amanda, and she's watching, so there was a time, and I'll be very honest, there are not a lot of people know this. I think I told Rob this, but like one of the shows I did and I posted on here, I did all by myself, and I asked everybody if they were free or if there was anybody free, and everybody's schedules were working. And I went on and I just looked like a deer in the headlights, because I think we were saying this last night. I haven't done a solo show in a long time, just talking into the void for the most part. And it's weird because I'm not used to it. I'm used to interacting with people, and you know, with that one show was the one show that I had Amanda and Drew and a few other people and Rob say, don't give up. You've got too much into this. You've done so much for everybody else.
Because Mom wants to know, they have huge pizzas. They look like New York.
Lisa's right on the top.
Oh.
They have a 19-inch pizza place here in Massachusetts called Lisa's Pizza, so I ordered one.
It looks like New York.
Nice.
I haven't had pizza in 2 months.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't eat on camera.
No, you can eat on camera. It's fine. I was just saying I haven't had it in 2 months. It's like, man. It's like, damn. It sounds good.
But I mean, for me, it's just like I wanted to just give up. I was broken down and I didn't know what to do. I just felt like I wasn't worth anything. Like I get into spells where if something gets bad really fast, really quick, I feel like everything's caving in on me. And that was one of those moments where it was like the perfect storm. I was like, I can't do this shit. I can't do this anymore. But
I think
anytime I get like that.
I think everybody's like that to an extent, though. Like,
especially content creators.
Yeah, like if it's, I mean, I've done that. Like, I mean, even with Fightful, like where I've done retro reviews, and it's like, man, this episode I was just brutal, and it's like, I don't know if I should do this, but then I'll churn another one out, and I'm like, okay, that was much better. And
I-
you just keep going, and like that's the thing I've learned. Some days are going to be a lot better than others, and that goes for. I mean, Chris works for a major like sports like publication or like online presence, and that's the same thing. They have baseball writers. I'm sure they have the same issue. Like one day they kick ass, and the next day they're just like, "What the hell happened?"
I can
it happens.
confirm. My boss runs the baseball section too, so I can confirm that that's absolutely true.
Yeah. Wow. So I mean, that was just me picking something, but yeah, it's just
that's just funny that you happen to pick the one other section my boss runs.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just I have a friend that works for the Star Tribune here in or outside of Minneapolis, and I'm outside of Minneapolis, but he's had things like that where he's gotten like committed for his work, and then some days he's like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I think that goes for everybody. And Stephen King has even said that on Twitter. He's like, I don't know how I became one of these kind of I'm an author that's renowned. Sometimes I don't even know what the hell I want to say. I think everybody's like that. I just think sometimes the hardest part's just overcoming that part and just continuing. That's the hardest part.
And truth be told, dude, I could not do a show where I was just talking straight into the camera by myself. Like the fact that you even did it is more than I ever would have been able to do, because I've never done anything like that. Like any podcast or show I've ever been on is always with at least one other people, usually 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what the weight of having to carry a whole conversation by yourself like that. So that can't be easy. And I know some people, that's all they do, but like, that's definitely not for everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good that you stuck with it. And like, now look at you, man. You're at the 2-year mark, and you're probably going to be at the 3-year mark next year.
With almost a 1-year-old on my shoulder too, which is fine. I'm gonna love every second of that too.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm gonna be a dad in August. This kid's gonna end up being a mix of a mix of wrestling, listening to Rob's stuff, Sean's stuff, your stuff, and all that stuff, and then listening to anime and Nightmare Before Christmas and Disney and stuff. But
nice. Yeah, I'm an August baby too. August is a good month to have a kid.
August 18th.
And far enough away from Christmas where you don't have to feel the crunch to buy them all these different gifts.
Oh, it's funny because if you look at the baby registry, it's like there's Star Wars stuff, there's like Nightmare Before Christmas. Like we're geeks, obviously, so I mean it's well worth it in that. But I mean, I'm very fortunate enough to have good people too. And back to what I was saying is that just having like good friends in general, like if I need anything, I can reach to Rob, or I can ask Anakin at J&T to hit me up, or like Drew, but the main person that is important that always talks to me and talks me off the ledges obviously is Amanda. So I mean, I'm very blessed in that aspect of it. To have somebody that's actually willing to like get you off the ledge and be like, hey, by the way, you're doing fine. You just don't go a little crazy. Just stay present.
Yeah, everybody needs somebody like that in their life.
Well, I mean, Rob's got a lot of people in that aspect too. You do too. So that's why, like for me, I end every show the same way, which is do a good deed, pay it forward. It's not a slogan; it's a belief. Yeah.
Especially no, man, I'm right there with you. I'm trying my best to do that.
Well, especially with what's happened this week in general in life and stuff, and you definitely have to sit back and realize like how important it is just to enjoy it and just do a good deed for someone else, even if it's the smallest things. Like a good example is I opened the door for somebody who was on a walk on crutches. That's doing a good deed. Work-wise, somebody asked me to check a tire for them and put air into it. That's something else. Even though it's my job, other people don't want their cars touched sometimes. just little things, stuff like that. It goes a long way and it adds up. Like with my girlfriend, I try to do the little stuff for her where she doesn't expect it, but in Lily too. So I'm hoping when our son comes into the world, I'll keep doing that for him and be like, make him see that. And I've told Rob this too. This show primarily was like a tribute to my mom, but now that it's changing and things are changing around it, I want to leave a legacy for my son and Lily and other people to now see, like, I'm 41. We don't all live forever, but at least, there's stuff out there that people can see about me and be like, hey, that's throwback. Oh, that's daddy. That's, Pat, that's, and that's what's important. It's not the content now. It's more having fun and just enjoying it.
Oh, for sure. And like everything you just said, it's the same reason why I've been starting to do these little like shout outs at the end of interviews with people where I have these wrestlers say things to people. So like the first thing I did was I had Samoa Joe dedicate his next like walk away spot where he just like walks away from an opponent who's flying at him. That's to Kate Elizabeth. And then Maggie with the drink video, like that stuff is so easy for me to do in my position, and it can make somebody else's like whole day. So why not do it?
Yeah,
It's such an easy thing to do.
That Maggie
And
one, she's still like just.
I know. I was DMing with her earlier today, man. Like and that's exactly what I was hoping would happen. Like I want people to have fun with this. There's so much negativity around wrestling online, and you see sometimes that the journalists get sucked into it. And I really just, I don't like to see that. And I know that a lot of the journalists get so much crap that it's hard for them not to engage with some of those people. I'm very fortunate that I don't get that level of hate online. I dodge it somehow. I think it's because I write for a sports website and not for a wrestling website. I sort of fly under the radar with a lot of fans. Like everybody knows who Sean is because Sean is constantly breaking news. I don't break news. So you're a lot less likely to see somebody, retweeting all of my retweets because none of them have newsworthy information.
Well,
it's all fun to read though.
Yeah.
But like, it is so easy to do a nice thing for somebody once in a while. Yeah. And, it might sound selfish to some people, but like if doing something nice for somebody else makes you feel good, then that, that's a good end result.
Yeah, exactly. And, like you said there about the wrestling news thing and how like the journalists get so much crap. Like the one thing is Dave Meltzer has been doing this for like
decades.
And longer than some of these people have been alive that are attacking them, And the funny thing is I'm sure you know who he is, the great Fowler on Twitter. I was telling him the problem that he gets that people don't realize is he is clearly speculating on his show. There's a difference between reporting news and speculating. What happens is websites, and I'm not gonna. We don't do it. Fightful does not do this. It's some of the other websites. They'll put what Dave Meltzer speculates as news, and so when it does not happen, he gets attacked because people don't know that he was speculating. And it's just things like that. And it's just
that happened with Will too, right? Didn't something Will Washington?
Yeah, Will
was like
happened to Sean, but
it's ridiculous. People need to just do some research.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't research, and that's when I realized that's what the problem. Meltzer deals with it more than Sean does because Dave speculates more than he. And that's not a problem. That's just the way he does his show. And he clearly is saying he's speculating. Like if you listen to the show, and Sean tries to make it clear that when he's speculating, but there's just you can't help what sometimes people put, and it's crazy that people are like that. Like I've seen things on like Reddit where Sean Ross Sapp said this. I'm like, he said it hypothetically.
Knowing Sean, he says stuff jokingly, just in passing or
something
not even like that.
Like jokingly. Well, if he says it jokingly, he makes sure he says it he makes sure he covers himself. Like that's the thing. I don't need to stick up for Sean, but what I'm saying is like when Meltzer is speculating, he comes out and basically says, I'm saying this is what I think they're doing. This is what like he'll say that's what he thinks or he's speculating. And Sean does the same thing. I'm not saying this. He'll say, I'm not saying this is what happens. This is wild speculation. And when
It's
he
like
does,
throwing a shot in the wind and just hoping you get it right.
well,
Yeah.
I'm not even that really. It's just speculating. There's a difference between speculating and somebody saying that if you're speculating and somebody's saying that that's true or that's a report, that's not
I
the
mean,
case.
and the other thing with Sean specifically is that, like, if Sean is going to put news up, he'll also put it on the Fightful website.
Yeah.
So go look at the Fightful website, and if you don't see that story, then reread the tweet and realize that he's just speculating. Like,
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
seen a tweet from Sean where it seemed like he was trying to pass something off as news that wasn't, or even could be construed that way.
Yeah.
He is good at how he phrases all that stuff. So the fact that anybody jumps the gun with that stuff, it just shows you that reading comprehension is at an all-time low in media.
And it's like we have a policy on like on certain things. We won't capitalize on like the releases right away. Like
he makes sure all the talent knows before he posts anything.
Yep, exactly. And the other thing is he won't that's that, and then he also like even if they know, he won't just do it like to put it on select. He won't like he'll do the after stuff like after everybody knows, like you said, and then
Yeah, he never does releases on select, does he?
No, nope.
It's all on the free part of the site, isn't it?
Yeah, yep. And he'll do it like the how it happened type stuff on select, but he doesn't.
Yeah. And that's the way, that's a perfect way to do it because he's not holding back the important news behind the paywall, but he is providing additional stuff to justify the paywall. That's
Like,
it's perfect.
Yeah, and like it's things that deal with like health. For the like health, I think is one of the other ones where we don't put it behind the high paywall. And there's another one, but it's one that we rarely ever see. I mean, it basically deals with life in general. Like we're not going to put something behind a paywall if it affects
Like if somebody passes away or something.
we wouldn't do that. And I don't think any other company like would. I don't think Mike Johnson would do that. I don't think Dave would do that. So
no, I doubt it.
I mean, that it's also good to like cover your bases too, because you don't want to say something and then all of a sudden you get like a whole wave against you too.
Oh, sure. And the people who break news get it so much worse than the people like me who just focus on analysis.
Yeah.
Because like if somebody's going to disagree with me, it's an opinion. So they're not going to get anywhere with their arguments because I'm not going to let them. But with Sean, it's like people will literally attack him for just reporting a story. And it's crazy to me. Like, let the guy do his job.
Yeah, let Sean be Sean.
Right.
I mean,
but, wrestling media in general just, I think, needs to normalize not engaging with the negative side and just engage with the positive people. And that's really what I've tried to do this year. Like, I've never been one of those people who dunked on a lot of people, like quote tweeting people who come at me and dunking on them. I've done it sometimes because it is fun. Like if somebody says something especially stupid, I'm gonna make a joke. But it's one of those things where after a while I realize, like, what is the point? Like, I would much rather retweet something that Jeremy just wrote or Maggie's drink videos or something from Jay Shell or Kylie or Haley, like any of those people, than to engage with some terrible human being who has nothing better to do than to harass wrestling.
And the funny thing is all those people, and I'm cutting an all you people promo, is every single one of those
awesome.
people.
We haven't had a Rob Wilkins promo in months on here.
Those people, for the most part, 90% of them are hiding behind a fake fake profile. They don't show their face. They have a made up like user Twitter profile. It's just like that's the one thing. There's only one person I know that like usually stands behind, like basically shows her face, and I have to give that person credit. They show their face, they say who they are, and I mean, I still don't agree with them ever, but it's one of those things where, hey, you know what? They don't back down. That's how they feel. I think their comments are always like just awful, but they
I
don't.
think there's a difference between people who know they're trolls and people who don't.
Yeah,
The people who don't, it's usually their real account.
yeah,
And the people who do, it's, Jeff 69432187 coming at you.
yeah.
8675309. Yeah. I had to throw that out there with all the numbers.
But yeah, so
Sorry, I gotta fix this. Sorry.
but yeah, just I think wrestling media in general gets a bad rap from people, like, and there's a lot of people in wrestling media who aren't great. We just saw a whole thing unfold yesterday with a certain person whose name I will not mention
Yeah.
because I don't think anybody needs to go looking for his tweets. But it was stupid. It was hateful stuff.
Mhm.
Nobody wants to see that on their timeline, especially from somebody that they're only following for wrestling news. And it's like, why bother? Why tweet any of that at all, man? Like, what are you doing?
I have one person. I know one person that works like for Twitter, and I did my best to just I'm like, you need to push us through. And he goes, I have too much on my plate. He's like, literally, I can't push anything fast. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but your system's beyond broke.
I saw a thing earlier. Somebody I know on Twitter, apparently there's been a few people telling her that she should kill herself. This is somebody
Oh
that,
yeah, and it said that it was yeah, I saw that.
like, yeah, okay. And I don't want to, again, I don't want to say names in case anybody doesn't want the attention brought to them, but it's like, what a just a terrible thing to say or do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
you don't know how that's going to affect people. Like, look, we just went through this with Hannah.
Yeah.
We just went through this. It wasn't that long ago. Like,
Yeah.
I wrote a whole article about Hannah Kimura and all the stuff surrounding that, and just the terrible way that especially women are treated online. And
Mhm.
I
Well,
was just DMing with somebody yesterday about something they're dealing with online through their DMs. And like, again, no names will be mentioned, but it's like, man, let these women live.
yeah, I mean,
You know?
I mean, even like the fans, like poor Jesse Davin, one of the sweetest people I know. Like in
My God, the amount of stuff that
Jesse's
people
awesome.
send at her, like,
yeah,
that
it's
is
just
even
stuff
if
like
you
that.
don't like her,
Yeah.
like her, you can see that she's going through a terrible time.
Yeah.
Leave her alone.
Yeah,
Like, that's
it's shit like
terrible.
that. It's
I don't
just
know
awful.
Jessie that well. I've only had a couple of interactions with her, and they've all been super pleasant.
Oh yeah,
And I've watched the story unfold as all the health stuff she's been going through, and the fact that she's still here and smiling is amazing. And yeah, I hate that she has to deal with that kind of stuff because she's not a media figure.
yeah.
Like, she's a personality, she
Yep.
does a lot of stuff on Twitter, but again, it's so unfair that she has to be exposed to that, especially during a time when she could be using love and support and all that.
Well, the Beatles said it best. All you need is love, right? And that's what Twitter doesn't give a lot of people. Let's be very honest. There's a lot of negative stuff.
No.
And
Oh yeah.
that's why, like, a lot of times I'll post like a thread where I'll tag like Amanda, Rob, a few other people and be like, you need to follow these people because they're really good people. And even if they have a bad day, even one person changing it will help it out, or I'll just put a thread on people who I want to work with. Like, I want to do stuff with you, Doc. I want to do more stuff with Rob because obviously, Rob pushed me to do this. So I want to do so much stuff with other people. I do stuff for Body Slam, and it's fun to have all these people out there to be on there and be positive, but there's so much negative stuff on Twitter. Like, when I have time, I'll literally look through and I see like the first 5 things are negative, 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 1 positive, negative, 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 positive. And the majority of the time, like, It's majority of the time, like other than like the Fightful stuff, Body Slam and stuff like that, I'll see it through and I'll just read it, read what the tweet is and stuff real quick and stuff. But the majority of the stuff is so horrible to people. It's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
like, what happened to like a society that said, "Oh, we all love each other, we care each other." Next thing you know, we all want to destroy each other. I mean, I don't want to associate wrestling media and all that stuff to what's going on in the world, but it's true. We're basically destroying everybody behind a keyboard, and then now we're literally destroying other people's lives just because they feel somebody feels like they were a keyboard warrior on here, and somebody didn't agree with them, and now they're going to go off and do something. I'm sorry, that's political, but I'm just being honest. You can't equate the two situations, but that does happen. If somebody doesn't like what you say, they'll go and they'll say stuff to, "Oh, I'll kill you, I'll do this, you don't, my opinion's right." It's never the case though. It's never that way it should be.
Yeah. And this is one of the things that I'm grateful for is like the following that I've developed all engages with me in a healthy way. And I've been more liberal with the block button, but honestly, I never used to block anybody because most people don't come after me. And it's one of those things where like curating your timeline is so important. Like, don't follow people if that's all they're constantly doing is retweeting and dunking on people or retweeting hateful stuff. Like, you don't need to follow those people. Like right now, the main stuff I see on my timeline, if it's not news related or movie related, is usually from somebody who's just expressing an opinion or saying something nice. There's so many accounts that people can probably stop following and it'll make their whole Twitter experience better.
Yep. And that's what, like, I used to be the same way. I didn't use the mute button much. And I didn't block. Now I block and I mute and I have muted words, and like the one word that I finally figured out to use, I'm like, bootlicker. Like every time I see that word, it's usually like I usually just always, like, it always has something just negative obviously with it, and it's just like I don't see it, it's gone. And but, I mean, there's just all kinds, like even just names, and it works too for like other things. Like if you don't want to be like, if there's a chance that you could see like Spider-Man, like I wasn't going to see like that new Spider-Man movie until Sunday when it came out. Like it came out on a Thursday night or whatever, and I knew it'd be like 3 days. So I put Spider-Man, home, like Far From Home, Away From Home, like just everything, like Marvel. Like I just did not see anything for days.
That's such a tough movie too, because there's things you don't know you need to block.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I didn't know I needed to block that word, so that's spoiled for me now.
Yeah,
that's what happened to me
was
with Doctor Strange. One of the big cameos in Doctor Strange was ruined for me because it's like,
don't, because I haven't watched it, and it's finally there's a leak out there that it's coming to Disney Plus next month.
Well, it's Batman. It's Batman. Batman showed up in Doctor Strange. It was amazing. Sorry,
I was gonna say Rob Wilkins with no pants on showed up in Doctor Strange.
That was a different movie.
That one was just called Strange Doctor, and
that was fun.
It was not a Marvel movie.
Yeah, it was a Brazzers movie.
Oh God, here we go.
Hey, I've been trying to work a deal out with them. What can I say? But yeah, it works it works to your advantage. The one thing I will say, they do try to give you the tools. They give you the tools to try to work your best with it, but you just can't avoid the tools on Twitter. That's the problem.
I mean, they're cleaning it up a bit, but I mean, do you really think Elon Musk is going to literally control Twitter like he controls Tesla? I mean,
I still don't think he's going to. This is just me spitballing. I don't think he's going to end up getting it.
No, I'm starting to have doubts the longer this goes too.
I think he's realized he could just build something. And
I mean, he is trying to get people up there.
Something. Elon's never invented anything.
Yeah, exactly.
He pays people to do that.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I meant by that. But yeah, I think there's a lot to it. I seriously don't see him doing this. I could be wrong. I know that, but I just think after like that last thing, what, a week or 2 weeks ago with he put it on hold a little bit. That was my first or second inkling, like, yeah, he's getting cold feet, or that was his chance to back out. So
I mean, him trying to go after Twitter, it's just the same thing as like people trying to go after Facebook. Hell, I'll even say it. I wouldn't be surprised if Facebook gets MySpace. And that was the joke for the longest time, too. It's like Facebook's going to end up buying MySpace.
anybody could buy MySpace almost right now.
Justin Timberlake bought MySpace. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Tried to turn it into a music sharing platform, and then their entire library got wiped out. And so everybody who had uploaded anything and was promoting all that stuff was gone. It was a huge disaster. I don't even know if MySpace is actually still a thing.
Yeah, you could. Well, I know if you go there,
It's still music focused.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, it is there. But it looks almost more like a regular website, not a social network now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what it appears to be. It's just like,
Did you see that some college student in Germany created something that's basically the original MySpace layout? And it's like surprise, like people are signing up for it again and like using this old school social media page.
That actually doesn't surprise me. I actually kind of liked MySpace back in the day.
Never
I
had
like how
MySpace.
you can customize it too.
Yeah.
I never did MySpace. I broke down and got a Facebook when like a bunch of people yelled at me. But when I first heard about social media, it was like just after high school when MySpace launched for me.
Yeah,
because I'd graduated in 2002. And
okay, now I feel old.
I was
My girlfriend calls me old. Now I officially feel old. I graduated
I'm going to be
in 2000.
39. You're not that much older than me. I'm going to be 39 here soon.
I'm 40, so I mean we're all around the same age. So
right, so we're all going to go buy red convertibles together, right, guys?
Yes, exactly.
No, whatever Amanda decides she wants to buy, I'll buy for her. I'll just leave it at that.
That's not how a midlife crisis works. You're supposed to go buy a car and use it to try and pick up women that are never going to sleep with you. That's a midlife crisis.
No, my midlife crisis is buying a Can-Am Spider and having her in the back of there telling me that I'm a butthead, which I absolutely would love doing anyways.
I mean, honestly, yeah, that would be a good midlife crisis vehicle right there. Those things are cool. There's one guy in my town who has one, and I see it like every summer riding around, and I always think like, man, that thing looks like it would be fun to tool around in. But yeah, it's just weird.
Especially if you're doing donuts in that thing, you get the back end tilted. I mean, for me, like I said, I'm at that point with a lot of stuff where it's like, you know, being 41, I'd rather like I have a little kegerator kind of thing. Will I drink some of it? Yeah, here and there, but I'd rather spend my time drinking with like, you know, Amanda and my friends, or if me and Rob are on camera just shooting the crap, just having a beer with, even though he's in Minnesota and I'm in Massachusetts, stuff like that. You know, it's just we just have fun and just chill and relax and stuff. That's why I don't understand like social media as much as I used to, because it's like you needed it for content creating, that's for sure. But it's like I'd rather have like friends on here and doing what we do. That's the basis of the show. It used to be like a solo review show, and then me and Rob started talking about we need to change stuff, and I ended up changing it into a 2-person thing, and then now it's a multiple form thing, and StreamYard came in, and now I can do 10 people at once if people pop on. So I mean, it's very fortunate and lucky about that stuff.
Yeah, StreamYard seems to be like the main one a lot of people use. Like, this is my second time on StreamYard today, and I'm sure I'll be on there again tomorrow with you, Rob. Right, Rob?
That's what we use. So.
Yeah, every time I've ever been on a watch along with Joel, when I did the spotlight thing with Jeremy and Steven, it seems like a good service. My buddy Tom, for his movie podcast, uses something called Riverside.
Yeah, I've
Riverside
heard of that
Studio. That's a good one. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's like when I go on podcasts, I just want to have fun. Like, I'll talk about anything. Like, I'll have a serious conversation or a lighthearted thing, but to me, this isn't part of work for me. This is just like, if somebody wants to invite me on a show and have fun, I'll have fun. This is my off time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to be like, like I look at a guy like John Alba who's hustling his butt off with multiple podcasts,
Mhm.
and it's like I can't do that. Like that's why I haven't started my own podcast ever, because it's like I'm just going to let other people do the work, and if they're nice enough to invite me, then I will go on and have a fun and a good conversation. But yeah, it's a lot more work than I think a lot of people fully understand, especially when they want to do it and get into it and then realize, oh,
Oh yeah, like
I've
that's
got a network and I have to book people and I've got to pay for software and all this different stuff.
yep. Like that's the thing. Like setting up. Like tonight, I'll set up the podcast and stuff for tomorrow, and that'll probably take me just to do everything. Probably it'll probably take me 30 minutes tonight, and if I did it tomorrow, it'd take 30 minutes out before I do the show, which I usually just use to review everything before I start. And it's just, I mean, it takes a while. And like I remember, like one of my favorite stories to tell is like how I got Maggie to do this show. Like I sent her a message. I'm like, Maggie, I want to do this show. I'm like, you're the first person I'm asking because I think you would be absolutely awesome at this. And like she didn't want to, like she wasn't, she had interest, but she just wasn't sure about it. And I said, you know what? That's fine. Just take your time. I'm not like wanting to start it today or tomorrow. Just give us some time. And if it's something that you don't want to do in a few weeks, I'll move on. And I actually heard back from her before I was expecting it, and we were like ready to go. And it was a lot more work than I thought. Like just setting up my first couple of podcasts. I'm like, holy crap! I did not prepare for this stuff, and now it's a literally I have like a daily, except for Saturdays and Sundays, I have a daily like check thing I do. Like basically it's like, okay, um like Monday I'll do like a quick like template of like who I'm making sure that everybody's still good to go for Friday. Like you, I checked on Monday, I think, to see if you were still good to go. Maybe it was Tuesday, but I started making designs, and then I booked the next week's guest, and then I start trying to figure out what stories we want to talk about. Like even though it's early in the week, and I have to anticipate. Like it was basically Tuesday night. I'm thinking, okay, well, I know, I know,
Hey,
NXT,
Drew.
I know NXT sucks, so I know
Hey.
at least AEW should be better, and so I never have to anticipate AEW sucking. So I go, well, at least we'll be able to talk about that, and then I know I got two stories because we'll get to be able to preview SmackDown and preview AEW Rampage, and anything that goes on this weekend we can preview, and usually there's something newsworthy that happens that week. So but it's constantly just producing something, trying to figure out what you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did
for
you
me,
happen to
it's
see what SP3 and Rick Ucchino did when I was on their show earlier?
No, I was on and off Twitter most of the day.
So they had the normal StreamYard setup with the two of them at the top and I was at below. But they actually put a graphic up, which is like it's my picture from Bleacher Report with just an arrow pointing to it that says alleged picture. I don't know how everybody started getting this impression that like I'm hiding my face. Like that has been on my Bleacher Report profile for years, guys.
So
Like I put the logo for Twitter because it's easier for people to identify, but I also kind of have this aversion to ever being well known enough for somebody to recognize me at a show.
yeah,
Like I don't know about everybody else, and this might sound weird coming from somebody in our industry. I have negative interest in ever being famous.
yeah,
So like I'm not afraid to like I met so many people in Chicago last year. Like tons of people know what I look like. It has nothing to do with that. It has more to do with the fact that I just think as soon as you start putting all that stuff out there, you just open yourself up, and it's just something that I really don't care to do. Like this might sound really unambitious, but like I'm perfectly happy with what I'm doing now and where I am.
hmm
And so I'm not super focused on starting new projects and making new contacts and all this stuff like I should, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing. So the fact that anybody invites me on the shows when I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, my webcam's broken. I never replaced it, and I don't really have a good place to film, so it's going to be audio. Like 99% of people are like, yeah, man, that's fine. And I always appreciate that because I know that people prefer audio with this stuff now, or video. I mean,
Yeah. No.
Me, it doesn't matter. Like I always tell Rob and Drew, it's an open door policy, man. Once you start on, you come on here, you're always welcome out. If you be like, yo, throwback, I got nothing to do tonight. Come on, let's go shoot the shit. I'll be like, perfectly fine. Do you want me to play video games or not? Me and Drew, we ended up doing a car show we were talking about, and it's in the can that will probably air when I go the week of the baby being born. I'm going to probably put out that we were just talking about car maintenance and our ideal cars and our favorite cars that we always wanted to drive. And, you know, he asked me questions about, you know, the maintenance stuff because my primary job, right, is working at an oil change shop as the manager. So I get people asking me stuff all the time. Hey, we got Ed on.
No.
So, I mean, it's one of those things where it makes a huge difference too. So
You're getting me driving.
yeah, I know. Yeah, and you're in Massachusetts too, so be careful. Those cops are out in full force.
Hands free. Don't have to worry.
But I mean, it's just one of those things. Like you have to have fun doing all this stuff, and you know, very like you were talking about, you know, going places and stuff. I'm hoping some people show up in Survivor Series in November, so that way I could hang out with some people because, you know, I might not be able to go to Survivor Series with epilepsy, but at least if people are saying, hey, I'll be in the area, you want to get something to eat, that's fine. Ed lives in like 3 towns away from me, right?
Yeah.
So like me and him try to see if one of our schedules is conducive. Like me and Drew have talked about me and Amanda and him hanging out down in Brooklyn. Me and Rob, you know, it's hard to do it nowadays with especially with gas prices in general. They're saying in Massachusetts just roughly it'll be $8 by the end of the summer.
oh my God.
God, I hope not.
I thought it was bad in Illinois.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. It's not going to be fun.
It's
Drew,
just
how you
getting
doing, buddy?
$5 around here now. It's crazy.
$5?
Yeah,
Wow.
crazy shit.
I just saw the Alex McCarthy tweet. Like I said, I was off and on Twitter earlier, and he said that William Regal told him that he was planning on signing Daniel Garcia, Ricky Starks, and Wheeler Yuta before NXT changed their WWE changed their directive. Jesus.
Oh, he had mentioned the same thing about Wheeler to me. Like,
Yeah. Well, I knew that, but I didn't know I remember that, but I just didn't know the Ricky Starks one, actually. That's the one that surprised me.
yeah, the Ricky Starks would be a very interesting choice for what Blackpool Combat Club is doing now.
Yeah.
And frankly, I don't think it would be as good of a fit as Team Taz continues to be for him. Like, I think Ricky's perfectly fine where he is.
Yeah.
But Daniel Garcia, that was a name Bryan Danielson threw out in that one promo when he was trying to get Moxley to be his teammate. He's like, let's mentor these guys. It was Lee Moriarty, Daniel Garcia, and Wheeler Yuta, I think, are the names he mentioned. And sure enough, you know, Lee Moriarty is the only one who hasn't had like a big thing since then. So I'm really hoping AEW does something with him because he's signed, right? Like he's all elite.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, so get
Yeah,
on
I
that.
think so, yeah.
Lee is one of those guys who just never misses in the ring. Like his matches are fantastic. So I'd love to see more of him outside of Dark and Dark Elevation.
Isn't it weird how like Blackpool Combat Club was not a thing in anyone's minds and then just happened out of nowhere, and now it's like one of the best things in wrestling?
Oh, I love it so much.
It was the day that, like, literally the day that Regal got released. It was like just somebody came up with the idea, like, oh, they should put them together, and then that's where, like, literally it came out that not even like maybe a week later that Tony Khan said that basically he kind of does look at Twitter and see what people say, and it's like, I don't know if he stole or took the idea from that, but it pretty much happened.
I remember one night, so Tony does follow me, and we've exchanged DMs a couple times here and there, but I don't have an inside track with Tony. All right, I'm not Righteous Reg, guys.
Bow down to you.
And and I remember one night I tweeted out, like, it was the week before Layla Hirsch turned heel, and I tweeted out, I cannot wait for Layla Hirsch to turn heel and just start throwing women around like bags of dirt. And he liked that tweet, and I'm like, oh, she's about to turn heel, and sure enough, the next week.
Yeah, he did that with one of my replies to Sean once, and I said something about it was when Miro. I go, this is going to work great until Miro like basically turns on Sabian in about a week and a half or 2 weeks, and pretty much liked, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. And 2 weeks later, it happened. I'm like, holy crap.
It's funny because it's like if people really paid attention to some of Tony, I don't know if he does it as much anymore, but at one point you could pay attention to Tony's tweets, like his likes, and almost use that to predict spoilers.
Yeah.
He did. I mean, we talked about it not too long ago. Me and Throwback and Anakin, when Anakin was on, when we did that gaming stream a few weeks ago, how he, there are points, obviously, where there needs to be improvement, for sure, when it comes to Tony and booking and just the overall running of AEW in general. But you really can't say that he doesn't listen to fans. Like, then the perfect example that came up was somebody had mentioned the crowd lighting and how the lighting had been darker and they didn't feel like it was as good, and they wanted it to be like how it was pre-pandemic when they lit the crowds and you could see the crowds. And then he said, oh, that's a great idea. Literally just added them on Twitter. Oh, yep, that's a great idea. Did it the next week and then thanked them publicly for it looking better. It's like
Tony's a fan like the rest of us. People need to remember that. Like,
Right.
He's a promoter, he's a billionaire, but at the end of the day, he grew up a wrestling kid just like we all did. He wasn't born into professional wrestling like Vince was. So with Tony, it's like he's going to listen to the fans because a lot of times he might also just be looking for assurance of like, I want to do this thing. Let me see if other people think I should do it already. And if he sees enough people saying this is what you should do, that's probably a confirmation in his mind. Like, yeah, I should do that. All these people want it. I want it. Let's do it. He's, there's never going to be a perfect wrestling promotion. There's never going to be a perfect booker. There's never going to be every storyline hits. But, for being a new booker to the industry, I think Tony has done a pretty good job so far. And there's certainly places for improvement, but I think they will be addressed over time. This is still a new company. 3 years is not that old.
Right.
Like, they just had the 3-year anniversary of Dynamite. That's it. It's really still an infant in the world of professional wrestling. Like Ring of Honor, Impact, those companies have been around for a couple decades, believe it or not.
Yeah, some people don't realize that.
Hey,
Right?
Drew, before we start our next conversation, Drew, do you want to introduce the video I'm about to play? We haven't played it yet, so.
Yeah. So, I have a surprise for Throwback.
Oh boy.
I finally did it. Ah ha 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 ha. Not somebody throwing surprises in my face. Though we'll get to that in a little while. But I contacted somebody and they had this to say.
Throwback, it's Sean, man. I just wanted to say congratulations on what? On a lot of things. You're having the little one, Brody, soon, but not only that, you've got the 2-year anniversary of Wicked Crazy Pinfalls. I've been happy to appear on that a couple times, and beyond being happy to appear on that a couple times, I'm happy that good things happen to good people like you, and you've long been a good person. I mean, I've seen you go through some ups and some downs, and I'm really happy that now you're going through ups, and I think it's going to stay with you going through ups, especially with the way that things have been for you. I mean, you're going to have the little one. You got a wonderful relationship. You got people that love you. You're about to have another little person that loves you, if you can imagine that. And you deserve all this, my friend. You deserve all these good things. You deserve all these these wonderful people in your life. And I couldn't be more happy for you, my dude. You're the best. Take care, dude.
I want to cry right now.
Good stuff, Drew.
Oh my god! Now I want to cry. I was like waiting for it. It was bound to happen.
Yeah, I was waiting until Drew, because I texted Drew earlier, like, are you going to be able to make it? He goes, yep, I'm on my way. And I'm like, okay. So I waited because I wasn't sure. So I'm glad we waited.
Yeah. So it's finally, I have been the one that surprises everyone with a video instead of it happening to me all the damn time. So
Well,
there
I
you
mean,
go.
there is this
Drew, buddy, what's up? It's Sean. Just so you know, this is all Joel. It's not me. I would never be mean to you. I would never roast
why don't we do this one? Hopefully it's
Joel, Anakin, whatever you want to be called today. What are you doing? You said that Drew was trying to be Roman, but then you tried MJF. You failed miserably. You can't deliver anything. The only thing you can deliver is bad analogies. Terrible timing on packages, terrible promo skills. You know, Drew was gonna have me do a cameo on him, but you paid me first. Man. You're a good dude, but I'm embarrassed for your delivery. I'm embarrassed for a lot of this stuff. Like, I'm just sitting here. I'm trying to think of the words to say to express this. It's not. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Thing. That's what it is. I'm disappointed because you've seen my promos. That shit passed down like by osmosis. I'm just gonna do my hair. That's how little respect I show you, right here, for what you did. I'm just trying to do my hair while this is being filmed. My hair that's sloppy right now has more charisma than you. You do better. Do better.
Jesus.
And Tim is here. What a perfect time.
That's
What's going on,
hilarious.
What's going on, everyone? How's everybody doing?
It's on. I'm just like,
Yeah,
I'm just in shock. Like, literally, the head of the table beats the owner, Wicked Crazy, one of the co-owners of the winning. Yeah. That
He
made my
can't
day,
even
my friend.
speak. He can't even
Yeah.
speak.
yeah.
I'm so happy about it.
Well, congratulations, everyone. What's up, Rob? How
Hey,
you
man,
doing, my
how you
friend?
doing? I'm good. How are you?
I had a tooth pull this past Sunday.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that doesn't sound good.
Well, hey, I had it for 18 months, so I'm doing all right now, guys. I'm feeling a lot better, but congratulations, 2 years for this show to be on. My God. Look at all
I know, right?
Look at all the crazy crap that happened in the last 2 years. You can't think anything worse, but it's awesome. And by the way, congratulations to you, Drew. How you been doing, my friend?
I've been doing very well. How are you? You doing well?
Besides having a tooth pulled,
Besides
I'm
that.
doing all right. I've been straight killing it with the diecast stuff.
Yeah, I see your tweets. They're really cool.
Yeah.
You have such an extensive collection of that. That's awesome because I used to have like toy cars and stuff. I don't anymore, but it's really awesome to see that.
Well, I got approximately over 20 grand sitting in me right now with me.
Wow. I wish I had 20 grand or something.
Hold on.
I got to give Drew credit. He's a very smart guy. He is the head of the table. Facing Shane, I didn't get his name right. I don't even remember his opponent's name because he's so inconsequential. Facing Shane from Body Slam and Throwbacks Tournament, which,
How many of these videos do you have?
high
You'd be
praise, high
surprised.
accolade there. Drew doesn't even need to talk for himself. Not when he's got me. Not when he's got Sean Ross Sapp to talk for him.
Wow.
Drew can stand in the back with his arms folded and get ready to collect another W. That's all it takes. I mean, what do you think you're going to accomplish? What you could do. Listen, you could just not submit anything for this upcoming tournament and just let Drew continue and win and lay down. Do the right thing. Do the smart thing. Do the thing that'll just save everybody time.
Wow.
2 belts Drew is done. The T.
Hell of a run.
TBD. Something else now.
Damn.
That was a hell of a run for you.
It was.
Yeah. All right, boys. I actually have to head out, so I will talk to everybody soon. Thanks for having me throwback, and again, congratulations on the 2 years. It's like we talked about last night. It's hard to believe it's been 2 years, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
That's funny.
Well,
Mhm.
That's
hello.
funny.
peace out,
That-
boys.
Rob,
You too,
talk to
buddy.
you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow. Hey,
Hey,
Bad
Rob.
Blood, how you doing, buddy? I gotta head out.
Hey, man, what's up?
See you, man. I'm sorry that you get here. I gotta go, but it's unfortunate. But I gotta go.
I was busy buying shoes.
Oh,
Oh, look at
there you
you.
go. There you go. That's better. See you guys.
Dang.
All right, brother.
Hi, guys.
Um,
You see you, Rob.
before we move on, I just
I want to do this. Did you two just see what I just played?
No, I literally just got off work and I was like, oh no, I gotta jump on the show real quick.
Shane, did you watch what was just played?
Yeah, did John Ross just got a promo on me? Or?
You cut a
get
promo.
used to it around here.
Actually, you never cut a promo on me yet. That's kind of funny, but
Listen,
I would like to apologize for my webcam not showing up. My webcam has been messing up today.
that's all right.
you're
Your
good.
webcam is crap. But I want to say this before anything else goes out of hand. Throwback, congratulations on 2 years, man.
Yes.
It's a long, grueling road. Trust me. Roundtable just had our anniversary not too long ago too. So shout out to everyone who has been on your show, who's donated super chats, whatever you guys do. People who have watched your show, people that have supported you over the last 2 years. Shout out to that. And once again, man, congratulations. I will be back. I will be back in a few minutes.
All right.
Okay. So I had Throwback play that video for a reason, obviously. As you know, my long journey with the Wicked Crazy
I'm
Pinfalls.
going to step out for a sec and let these two duel because this is going to be more entertaining right now. So hold on. Let me
God.
put Ed on hold, Doc
Been a while.
and Tim on hold. So hold on. We'll be right back. And by the way, just to give you warning, Shane, the head of the table is the producer.
Oh, nice.
I had Sean do that because, it's been a long time since I have come on and cut a promo for myself. I knew I was going to be a little rusty, so I contacted a friend, and you could say my advocate, Sean Ross Sapp, and he will be speaking for me from now on. Now, the thing about it is, if you followed my journey here, you know that exactly 1 year ago, I came onto this podcast for the first time with this title, and I claimed myself to be TBD, 2 Belts Drew, and I claimed the head of the table of Wicked Crazy Pinfalls, because who else is going to do it, really? It's not going to be Throwback. It's not going to be anybody else on this show. It's going to be me. I'm the guy with the direct connection to my tribal chief, Roman Reigns. And it's been a long time coming, but you remember in August, I faced the king of all worlds, whoever that loser is. And even though the king of all worlds won on a technicality, I said that he was the head of the table, and I had to relinquish that as penance because I said if I lost at SummerSlam, I was no longer the head of the table, and it was an I quit match. Loser leaves town. But then in January, Throwback needed me again, and I wore this title on my shoulder. And boy, it felt good. It felt really good. I hadn't been the head of the table in a long time. Felt that urge again. But I knew I was going to be a little rusty on my talking, so I allowed Sean Ross Sapp to speak for me. And thank you very much for that, Sean. That was really wonderful. But there's something very important seeds that I've been planting that nobody knows about except for me. If you'll recall, as I've been on Throwback's channel this year, I've always said when it came time for the tournament, a title was going in that square. I said that last night, Shane. You remember. A title is going in that square. But remember, in August, I said TBD was gone. And that's exactly what Sean said. But what nobody knows, except me, and I'm going to reveal now, TBD doesn't stand for Two Belts Drew anymore. No. TBD is now 3BD. Because now I already have 2 belts. I'm good. I got a belt that's going in there. But what's going to happen? 3BD is going to happen this Sunday against Mr. Blackscreen Shane Husky, whose webcam conveniently wasn't working, even though it was working less than 24 hours ago. And I'm going to hold so much gold. It's going to be exhilarating. 3BD is here to stay. So, what do you think about that, Mr. Throwback?
Hey, I'm not the champion. I'm just the proprietor. So, yeah, let's stick with that. But we'll bring everybody back in now. Yeah, I'm just the proprietor. Technically, the championship is disputed right now. So,
and by the way, sorry to cut you off. By the way, this is the NXT that fucking matters, not the other garbage that's on TV right now. I've been wanting this belt for a long time, so I finally acquired it, and I'm really, really, really happy.
Any retort from the champion?
Well, all I know is say I should have already still be champion and should be moving out for opponent. But you know what? That's fine. Sean Ross Sapp can be your advocate. You can almost be 3B 3 Belts Drew. But on the other hand, just like WrestleMania weekend, winning this belt and this Sunday at Double or Nothing, I will retain this belt and it won't longer be disputed. It will still be around me.
Well, the thing is that since Bad Blood is not taking the other opportunity to face the one person in this community that has never won, never been beaten, nothing. And from wrestling perspectives, Dennis Farrell, if whoever should win, because we got Hell in the Cell and In Your House coming up, possibly in Hell in the Cell, if I can have Dennis agree to this, the champion will face the one person that has not ever had a shot at the title or a chance at the title or an opportunity to go after said title in the tournament. Will be facing Dennis Farrell, and then at Money in the Bank we'll be doing a huge thing. So we'll see what happens at Double or Nothing. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Like I said, I'm a fighting champ, and I will defend this belt against anybody.
Hey, Doc, do you want a chance at the title? It's not. I'm not joking. This is a real title.
What is this? Is this a trivia thing? What are you guys talking about? Like, I didn't want to interrupt, but I've been dying to know what the hell all this is.
We did a tournament to crown a wrestling internet community champion, and this person represents the not only Wicked Crazy Pinfalls or whatever show they go to, is that they represent the community as a whole. Because I noticed when I was sitting back watching, I love the Fightful Championship, the Jam That Champion, and all these other podcasts having it. There's not one stationary championship title that stands out that can be defended on all podcasts. Not just one, all. Instead of having like me and Drew joke around about possibly getting a title, just us bouncing back and forth and stuff like that, just for fun, or a few other people just joking about it, why not have something where there's higher stakes to these prediction shows? If there's a title on the line, there's an opportunity to go after the champion for a number one contender shot. The only reason why this title is disputed is because they both tied at the last pay-per-view at WrestleMania. So it's something that I put my financial backing into it, and I thought it would make, how people do prediction shows. Oh, I predict this and nothing comes about it. Nobody, puts any stakes on it or anything. Why not put a title on the line, a real championship title on that somebody can mail to the champion and then they mail back to someone else and to the next person who wins, and then just keep it going and just have fun with it. It's kind of like one of those things that you pay it forward, but you're basically defending your ship, basically, if you think about it. If that makes sense.
What does this usually entail? How many questions do you guys do for?
You just predict the card, and I messed up with theirs because I forgot to add the usual standard. The way the format goes is that it's 10 points if you get it correct. This is the way the tournament was: 10 points if you get it correct, 7 points for a pin, 5 for a submission, and 1 for a DQ. And then if there's a specialty match, you have to figure out. Let's say we're talking about Money in the Bank. You have to pick the winner, and pick 3 possible winners. Those would get 5 points, and out of those 3, if one of those win, you get 10. So it's like just having fun with it and just enjoying it too. But I mean, there's not many people who could probably do a lot of stuff with that anyways. I mean, let me find it. I just been dying to do this since he's on, because he usually has his own intro.
Drew.
Feels good. I have to say,
Maggie's so great.
I have not draped these titles over my shoulders like this. Fuck, this feels amazing.
The really one cameo that we had on here that literally made us all pop was the one Anakin JMT got on for Sean on Drew. And it's just because he went off with,
"Hello, Drew. If you don't recognize me, I don't blame you. It's not your fault. You're a cultured man. This is your dear old sweet friend, RJ City, and I have a..."
Nice. RJ, oh my god, that Hey EW show he's been doing is
it's amazing.
It might be my favorite thing about AEW right now. Every episode is incredible. I get little clips out of each episode and use them as tweet replies. It's become one of my new favorite things. I got this one that's perfect for Twitter trolls now of Ricky Starks going, "Man, I don't know, but whoever said that is going to be single forever because that is dog shit." And it just works so perfectly.
So funny.
It just works so perfectly. Ricky's the man. Did you guys see that clip going around where somebody upped the audio of what he said to some fan?
No.
It was so good, man.
Throwback, could you pull that up? Because that was... I don't even know who tweeted it.
Oh god, I don't remember either.
It was...
See if I can find it. It's somebody I follow for sure. So let me see if I can just type in Ricky Starks and...
It was epic.
I'm just counting on how many videos right now Drew has in the catalog on clips, and I'm like, oh crap, he's got 4 of them. I got 1.
Damn.
All right.
Hey, it was a good one though, wasn't it?
Throwback. I'm DMing you the link to the tweet right now.
Okay. Like, let me play this one real quick because we already played this, but this is the original one that set off Drew getting off of Annie.
Drew, buddy, what's up? It's Sean. Just so you know, this is all Joel. It's not me. I would never be mean to you. I would never roast you. I consider you a wonderful person, a good person. But listen, despite that, you've had a lot of stuff happen to you. You know, you're trying to get over with somebody else's gimmick, like Roman or Omega or The Fiend and all that stuff. But I got to say, the most embarrassing thing is that you got roasted by RJ City. RJ City, to let him get one up on you? I mean, one, it's going to be like some 60s or 70s reference, so I mean, it's going to be dated. But that doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me for Throwbacks Tournament. I mean, if you can't compete on the level of RJ City, you're probably not going to compete in Throwbacks Tournament. You're probably going to get knocked the hell out of there. I mean, Maggie's laughing at you. The world's laughing at you. But you know what? We care about you. We like you. Even though over in Bulgaria, they're the whole country's like not just Maggie. It was the whole country, actually. But you got roasted by the host of Hey Ew. Drew.
Drew.
Drew. Okay, first.
I had to figure a way to line them up, but let me pop that tweet up.
You see the stuff I have to deal with? It's unbelievable.
I feel bad for you, Drew. Seriously. I'm on your corner this time.
Thank you. I mean,
no problem.
It's. I see what has to be done around here to. Oh, play that. You gotta play
yeah, okay.
I saw that. That was.
The upper hand in this three-way match that will continue in picture.
Yeah, your daddy should have missed you when he came.
The upper hand in this three-way match.
Oh my
Jesus. Good Lord.
Love that, man.
That is hilarious.
Jeez.
So Doc, our friendship has really just started within this year, so you don't even know like my whole backstory with the Wicked Crazy Pinfalls show.
No.
I really started this head of the table thing with this title over here, the blue one, and I was a real dick. Tim knows I was kind of a dick, and
I'm also one too.
And Anakin, I wish Anakin was here because I was probably a dick the most to him. But then, like what Sean mentioned in the cameo, he tried to do an MJF promo because.
Let me see if I can find it.
Oh no, that's like 20 minutes, please.
Hey, if I can find it,
play the beginning of it at least because.
Oh, it's not in the log. He probably just had it himself.
Oh. Damn, because it was funny. Like he starts with the MJF music and it just cut my music. It's kind of it was endearing. I would say I gave him props for doing it because I know.
It was bad.
Well, you said it, not me. And it was endearing. I mean, I was cutting promos left and right from May to August of last year. Just I'll retweet some of them sometime. Just so you can see, like, I was being a real douchebag. But
if you want, we can go back in the backlog and see how far that is.
So did you make a babyface turn at some point? Is that what we're talking about now?
No, he lost straight up 100% score to a friend of mine who is called the King of All Worlds because he didn't want to be like he wanted anonymity in the tournament. He was just picking it for the fun of it.
A nameless, faceless coward. I lost to.
and he opened his mouth and sticked it and said, "Loser leaves town." Well, that kind of didn't work.
I was the loser, unfortunately.
So when is the next match? When's this next thing being decided this weekend?
Double or Nothing prediction show. It's going to be the head of the table, the Wicked Crazy Pinfalls, versus the champion, the community champion, the Wicked Crazy Pinfalls champion, Shane Husky, who's representing the Roundtable podcast.
Oh yeah, Roundtable podcast. I know him.
Yeah, they're really.
Mhm.
Bad Blood just popped in for a moment. Hopefully, he'll come back. But yeah, they're a really fun group of people over there, and I'm happy to even do a little bit of stuff on Body Slam myself with this thing, the NXT universe.
We need to
although
get that on an NXT show. Just having you just draped in that just for
It's
fun of it.
of course it's got all these shitty colors on it now. But this is not the shitty colors NXT. This is the black and gold NXT. The
Which I do
NXT
love.
The NXT that makes sense. The NXT that matters.
I don't like the new one. It's garbage. Oh, did I say that?
It's shit.
Oh well. And life's a
Oh
bitch,
no,
and
you're
you
gonna make
marry one.
everybody angry. Oh no.
Is the new one really that much different from that one? Isn't it just have
It's
some
just
additional
full
color?
of rainbow.
It's just
colors.
a 2.0 step up upgrade, which it means jack squat if you look at it. Oh wait, that's right. I'm going babyface now, not heel no more.
Oh, great. Here we go.
No, I had to drop it a while long. Well, I want to kind of touch off on Drew now. Well, when I was injured, was it last October? I was supposed to face somebody in the tournament. For undisclosed reasons, I had to drop out. I had no other choice. Well, however, I had surgeries on both of my ankles, so I was really rehabbing, and I'm feeling a lot better now. But at the time, I just was not in the right place. My mind was completely like off somewhere. And that's when I reached out to Throwback and I told him what was going on about it. And he understood it. And here I am 2 years later, still walking, still talking, still breathing.
That's a good thing. Very
And
happy.
yeah, it is. It is.
I'm really
And
glad I didn't make a joke that I was going to make earlier.
Well,
I was
I'm
going
gonna
to say,
tell-
like, there's this glare on your screen. I was going to tell you not to head to the light.
Well, it's cracked. Unfortunately, my screen's
Oh, okay,
cracked.
gotcha. Hey, man, I
Yeah.
have a totally broken webcam, so you're still ahead of me in the game.
Well, I got another phone. I'm getting ready to do put Twitter on that. So that's what I'm getting ready to do next. It's just small little steps I'm doing to it. But I've been like I said, guys, I've been busy with my diecast stuff here lately. I've been crushing it. Like literally, I had 18 months I've been posting articles every day, and I think one person in particular, Sean from Fightful, I appreciate him giving me more motivation and more courage and stuff. That's why I changed my name around, being super professional now. So this is a job that I'm doing now every day of the week, except for Saturday and Sundays. Well, Sunday nights I post articles. Y'all can check that out. Drew, I know Drew's like, damn, does this guy get any sleep? Nope.
I respect you
What
for
sleep?
I don't even know what sleep is anymore. All I do is eat, breathe, sleep, repeat, diecast. It's all I'm doing. But it's a hell of a responsibility, and I love it.
That's awesome. When you moved, you got out of where you were and you moved to where you are now. That was, I think, a very, very great thing for you. And I'm really
And it's
happy
healthier.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's healthy because now y'all see me a lot more in a better place. I'm in a better situation. Yes, I'm wearing a blue shirt. I got the St. Louis Blues. I got Cardinals. I got the Chiefs. I got the Royals out here, Kansas City Royals. I got all kinds of stuff out here. So I'm happy. I'm
very good.
I don't miss Virginia.
we might have the possible person who will be facing one of you two at possibly Hell in a Cell. I'm gonna
Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Dennis Farrell. What's up, bud?
What's up, Dennis?
Hi, guys.
Well,
Hi, Dennis.
Bad Blood should be coming on eventually, so you can, talk about that.
Tim, what
I
am I
just wanna-
watching? What am I? Hang on, Tim. What am I watching? Am I an alien autopsy video?
No, it's a cracked screen.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to. No, I'm gonna let y'all know. I got a new phone, and I'm getting ready to switch this over. So that's why.
Does it?
This is the,
do you have to pull the antenna out to use it?
She thinks, Dennis. Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Do you?
I get where you're going with it.
7 p.m. 3 minutes in. I just
Well,
want to make sure.
No, it's no. It's a cracked screen. I got another phone. I gotta download the Twitter app on it. So that's what I'm gonna do next.
I don't know if I was watching some sort of blacklight version of someone getting shot in Afghanistan.
Dennis.
No,
That's
at
the only
least
reason why I
Dennis.
came, guys. I'm out now.
No, yeah, Dennis didn't know what was going on. It's fine. I'm not upset.
You
No.
shouldn't be.
No, hell no. I'm not. I'm happy.
I feel like extremely lucky. I had Sean. I get a cameo on Sean. I have Dennis, who's a good friend. Doc's here. Drew's here. The champion's here.
Friend. We'll leave the good part out. Just friend.
Amen.
Still, you're the one who also, when I talked to you a couple of weeks ago, said if I need advice on parenting, I can hit you up.
I always said that. That is true. You are a good friend. Yes.
I just want to be clear about one thing with the, my whole title reveal and whatever. This isn't a heel turn. This isn't like last year where I, did the spotlight and all that nonsense and, cutting a promo on that guy.
Drew.
Although it gave us that great clip, which I'm very grateful for. I felt that the TBD 2 belts Drew thing, it was time for that to go. And when I beat Mr. Shane Husky next to me for Sunday at Double or Nothing, TBD becomes
What
3BD.
was it?
Dennis, if we end up facing each other at Hell in a Cell, that is going to be probably the highlight of my year.
Good. I cannot wait. Hopefully that happens.
Yeah, considering this is a grudge match that's been trying to happen for months.
Easily a year.
Easy year.
Yep.
But you know what? May the best man win. I will be waiting to face whoever comes my way, whether it be Husky or you, Drew. Both of you are opponents worthy of any championship match, so I can't wait.
Yeah, and you rightfully deserve so, especially after you having to withdraw for certain professional reasons too. So,
not losing a match. Might I remind each one of you guys, I have never lost a match.
Nope, he's won in the old bracket. He actually won his match,
undefeated.
Yep. So he does have a claim to the title if he needs to. So
I never lost it.
No. Doc's in here in the back and like, oh great, all hell's breaking loose.
Mm-hmm.
Doc, if you do want to be a part of this, that would be awesome. If you
turn your video on, Doc. What are you doing over there in the corner? And you,
my
you know,
webcam's been broken since I bought this computer and then dropped it right away.
You sound like a catfisher. Oh, I'd love to send you pictures, but my camera's broken. Oh, I'd love to get on video chat, but my video chat thing is broken.
Oh, yeah, but this laptop is so old and it doesn't work. Yeah.
Do you have a phone?
No.
I do.
Do you share phones with Tim? Because that's the only logical explanation to this.
Man, I've been on this podcast for an hour and a half already. You think I'm going to hold up my phone in front of me that whole time?
At least
you got the truth.
What about an iPad?
Lean it up against something. Do you guys have books there? Oh.
Wow, wrestling perspective going after Bleacher Report. Holy
I'm just
crap.
throwing. I'm just.
I gotta tell you,
guys. That's what I do. I come in. I make some ha-has and then I leave.
Yeah, you unintentionally gave me PTSD earlier talking about free nights and weekends. I spent 12 years in the stupid mobile phone industry.
Oh, trust me. Do you know my first cell phone bill was like $700, and I was like, "What the hell?"
Would you send like 5 text messages?
Yeah, I did. I did not abide by the 7 p.m. free nights and weekends. It's like 2 p.m. I'm sending. You young kids don't remember like texting. You had to hit the button like 3 times just to get to the C.
Oh my god! And I got so fast typing that way too. Like after a while, it got to be second nature, where you're like, "There is spelled 2 8s." Like you just knew.
Yeah.
Kids these days don't understand that dexterity of being able to type on a 10-number keypad.
We didn't abbreviate words because it was cool. We did it because it took 20 minutes to send a help text.
Or a page.
Yeah.
You tried dialing
That's
it
true.
out.
That's true.
Shane, how old are you?
I just turned 28 not that long ago.
Oh, you are the baby here. Thank God.
I
thought was
am.
gonna be the baby.
28.
I'm second because I just turned 31 the other day.
I just turned 35 March.
Yeah. 41. Gotta love it.
Still young. You still have your whole life ahead of you.
Yeah, I know.
44, grizzled old
Really?
44.
I didn't know you were that old.
Well, yeah, 2 divorces will make you look this old.
Wow.
I'm
Well,
really
I'm heading down
12.
that. Jeez.
On that note,
Yo.
But I want to say thank you, Dennis, for being on here for the last year and being on in general. You've always been a good friend and always helped me out.
I cut short my homicide interview just to try to make it here on time.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm trying to make sure you're all good on that because I don't want homicide to come out here and find me.
Oh, he is. He's on his way, actually. So.
Oh.
Oh God.
Well.
Oh God.
And then all of a sudden everybody scatters and there's me and him and I'm like, bye.
Yep, I drop off.
Yeah, I'm not screwing with homicide, guys.
Nor
I don't know what did I sign up for.
Listen, it was a fun, interesting interview. It definitely makes me realize I am not a man. Nope. When you go face to face, head to head to homicide, you realize what a real man is, and that's not me.
Damn.
Well, it's always good to talk to you all the time and every great moment on this podcast and the / show has been always with like you and Drew, Anakin, everybody in general, Tim and stuff, and Doc now. Like it's always a great thing that it's made it to 2 years. I still can't believe it's made it to 2 years. Dennis called it that it would make to 2 years.
But I said no longer after that. I said it only will make it to 2 years, and that's it.
But hopefully with now a different ideology behind this now that I'm going to do it, so I leave a legacy for my son, so that way he can look this up on whatever YouTube becomes in the future, to say, hey, my dad, he was on this, he did this, he had friends that helped him with this, and I'm proud of him. I want that to be, at least if something, God forbid, ever happened to me, and he could actually hear my voice for the rest of his life, at least.
I will say this, and I come in and I make jokes, but you've put together an amazing community. Chris, Drew, Husky, Tim, Anakin. All these guys are amazing people, and I'm glad to have got to know each one of them, except for Doc. I don't really know him that well. Sorry. You know what? We'll go on a date after this. But you've
by the way, who would be paying for that?
Dutch.
Damn.
Dutch, we're going Dutch. Gas prices nowadays, I can't afford to go on dates. Holy cow.
mean, listen, you're the one who asked. You're the one who should pay. That's all I'm going to say.
And you guys are both in the same state, right?
I don't know.
Are you in Illinois?
No, I'm in Michigan. I'm from St. Louis. So.
Whoa. I'm from Missouri.
Are you in the UP or are you in the Maine?
Maine.
Gotcha.
Where are you at?
I'm about an hour northwest of Chicago.
Okay. Wisconsin?
No, not quite. But I could probably spit into Wisconsin. I'm in if you know what McHenry County is. I'm in McHenry County, so I'm on the border of Wisconsin. Like it's probably a 20-minute drive, but on a good day I can get to the city in about an hour.
What part of St. Louis are you from, Tim?
I'm actually in St. Louis County.
Okay.
I just moved from Virginia about a month ago. Thank God.
I don't know if that's like a
Yeah.
Dennis, it's like I'm literally like 30 minutes away from St. Louis, the actual city.
No, I've been drunk there many times. That's
Yeah.
a lateral move.
No, Virginia. No, if you want to go, if anybody ever tries to live in Virginia, and especially live in Virginia Beach for like 23 years, like I did, it's a hellhole. I don't like the state. I'm glad I'm in Missouri because it's my dream state. It's my favorite state.
Shout out to all the Virginia listeners tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks.
I guess Virginia's for haters now, right?
Wow.
Damn right. You're damn right. Because I hate that state. I don't like it.
There's got to be a story because that's a lot of hate. Is there like an ex-wife there?
Well, let's just say number one, I got screwed trying to get a place to live. I got thrown out where I used to live a year ago, which I'm not going to get all of that.
Thank you.
Plus, my family decided to turn their back on me.
All right, we're going to stop there.
Yeah.
Wow, this has gotten really dark.
Yeah.
Tim,
so
keep your chin up. Throwback. Let's talk a little bit more about the 2-year anniversary before I want to go and cry to old country music and drink beer because of his story.
Sorry about that.
It's all right, Tim. We love you for that. But once again, what an amazing community that you put together. You don't get enough credit for it, and you should. Each one of you guys have made wrestling fun in one way or another for me. Drew, I absolutely love our back and forths. It is a highlight for me, and it makes me happy when you bring your A game. So thank you so much. Wouldn't have happened without Throwback. You've once again a great community. Chris, I cannot wait to get to know you. You seem good. Tim, you need a hug.
Thanks, Dennis.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I appreciate that.
The hug part, no, but Tim,
Yeah.
I bust your balls, but you guys all, and when you come together, it's phenomenal and it's fun and it's what podcasting is meant to be, and a lot of us forget that sometimes.
Very, very true.
Well,
know, Drew.
you're
That's
part
why
of
I said
you're part of all that lore too, because I guess according to certain people in this community as a whole, I am the NXT. I don't know if they got a good or bad thing of the wrestling community. Which, if like somebody put it this way, and Rob did too, is that Drew's with Fightful now, doing stuff with Fightful. You know, Pluggo's with Love Wrestling. You know, Anakin does stuff from time to time with Fightful. There's certain people like Maggie and everybody that's been on over the last 2 years that have done other things with other people, and that's the best part, because at least I know that, you know, I had a hint at them starting to get that itch even bigger, and it created more opportunities for them along the way. I'm not claiming their success. I'm just stating the fact that I was like that key that turned the cog in order for them to get forward and get that machine moving faster on their own.
I'm glad that you said that, actually, because, you know, I do attribute your podcast to me really opening up more in the Twitter sphere and being more involved in wrestling, because when before we really got to know each other and I was working at Cage Side Seats, I did not really enjoy, when I did the original Head of the Table thing that night, I was already like checked out of WWE and covering it, and I didn't really have like that much fire in watching wrestling at that time. And coming on this podcast and you providing the outlet for just this fun group of people who just want to get together and talk about wrestling and whatever other topics, like Dennis was saying. It's really, really a great thing that you did, and you deserve all the credit for it.
I look at the other way. Everybody that's part of it deserves the credit as a whole. I think I have that Patriots mentality as much as people hate it. It's not. It doesn't take one person to do a whole thing. It takes a team to do it. Like me and Drew and Dennis talk about have done stuff where we're talking about other shows and other things. Me and Drew have done a car show we got planned to put out. Me and Dennis have talked off camera or on camera privately about parenting if I need help or advice about it because this is my first kid, stuff like that.
I haven't killed mine yet.
I mean, I've done stuff with Shane and with the round table. I'm hoping to do something with Doc whenever he has time, if he wants me to do if he any of his stuff, that when he gets his stuff up and running.
I wouldn't
Tim,
expect
I've always,
me to ever get a podcast going, man.
I mean,
I do. You know what though? Are you into the Marvel stuff at all?
Yeah, of course.
Well, I do. I don't run anything for it, but I do a show with Phil Lindsay and Graham Matthews for Bleacher Report semi-regularly, looking at the Marvel stuff. So we'll get you on there soon.
Yeah, I'll be on leave in August, so that works out considering the fact that Thor: Love and Thunder will be out then. It'll be out before that.
But I do want to say, as much as the credit we all give you, you do take the blame for Drew. We are blaming you for Drew. Just all of us. You don't.
I thought people were gonna blame me for just like people not being on. Like Maggie, I know it's time difference, but Ray, I've heard one person blame me for Ray not being on anymore.
No, we're blaming you for Drew in general. Not. We're blaming you for Drew being on. That's your fault. You carry that on your head.
That's fine. I get told everything's my fault anyways.
How do you feel?
So disrespectful to 3BD.
You need a hug.
Oh dear God! Now he has a moniker.
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
Anyways, I want to end this on a positive note, considering we've been on for almost 2 hours and stuff. First off, Dennis, like I said, you have always been a mentor to me. Anytime I have a question, I know it takes a while.
Equal, not a mentor. We're equals.
Still, it doesn't change the fact that if I have questions about doing any of this or doubts, you always let me know where to go and what's the right way.
Yep.
Drew, well, it's enough said to be Drew, and my kid's gonna call Drew Uncle Drew. So I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be Uncle Dennis. Bitch.
I'm not even Uncle Dennis to my kid, my nephews.
No,
that guy.
And I'm just beginning.
Tim is the diecast king, obviously. Shane, you're the champion right now, so always a good person to talk to. And Doc, I always like talking about comic books. Hell, my logo is an anime characters. Who'd have that shit brought it out?
Come on.
So I mean, hell, if you guys at Bleacher Report want to talk about anime, dude, I'm all down for that too. Considering the fact that the new Dragon Ball movie's coming out in August too.
Oh, I will say that the Marvel thing isn't through Bleacher Report. We're just all Bleacher Report guys. It goes up on Graham Matthews' YouTube channel typically when we do it.
Yeah, but still, it's just in general. It'd just be fun to have you on and talk more about a lot of stuff too. It's just without people being on, there is no Wicked Crazy Pinfalls. And as much as I drive the bus and have people come on and try to find new people, without people watching or people being on, like, Dennis a lot, Drew a lot, Tim a lot, hopefully Shane and, Doc more, there wouldn't be anything. I think, and I've told this to Drew, with Dennis being on, which if you get Lars on here one time, dude, I will literally have a friend on that loves Rancid.
Do my best.
Like I have friends who are heavy metal heads, and they look at him as a god. So that will literally just be like making them freak out.
Do you know he's going to be at Double or Nothing? He's playing Ruby in. Breaking news, by the way. I just learned that tonight.
Okay.
Rancid is playing Ruby Soho in.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
One of my friends absolutely love that band.
But I'm saying, like, helped me a lot, and Drew's been there for a lot of things. Like that night I talked about earlier with Doc, Drew was there when I was literally breaking down, and there was nobody in the chat when I asked for help. And Drew literally went off. Like he was the one person besides my girlfriend Amanda that was there, and Drew's like, "Listen, things will be okay. Just don't." And then I remember you saying something about it, like right before the year one, be like, sometimes people are just not going to be around, and you got to figure a way to keep going. So, I mean, that's why I'm saying, like, you, Drew, and everybody, it's important for people to know who you guys are. And, you know, wrestling perspective is an amazing thing that you guys have over there, and I pay attention to it. And same thing with Bleacher Report and Fightful and Love Wrestling and me doing stuff with Body Slam. It's just, I'm very fortunate enough to have a great amount of people around that I can see great things for. And if there's nobody that doesn't see that wants to do this that's interesting, hit me up, because you could be Drew, you could be Tim, you could have I'm talking about, like, just getting into doing this stuff, and then you never know.
I gotta agree with Dennis on that one.
Yeah, but I'm saying just in general, like, just people who are wanting to do this and they're not sure, you can just come on here and see if you like it, and just come on and get your own footing, and eventually someone will notice. You know, that's how it always is, and that's the best part. So, I mean, I want to thank everybody watching. I want to thank Doc for being on here for the first time. It's amazing to have you on. I've watched what you say in Rob's chat too, because I'll sit there and watch the whole show. So, or I'll watch it on when I can.
I appreciate the invite, man. It was fun. I'll come on anytime.
Shane, hold that championship tight. Drew already called his shot with Sean. And Dennis, there's no introduction. You're like the David Letterman and show lettering. There's no need for introductions.
That's the best compliment I've gotten all night. Thank you.
As I'm going to end this, because we've been on for 2 hours and stuff, as I say, everything, especially with the way the world is the last 48 hours, hug the person you love the most tight. Make sure that you tell them how you really feel, because as my mom used to say to me, and I'll say it to all of you, tomorrow's not given. Tell the person you love them, tell your friends you love them, and your family, even if it's somebody you haven't talked to in years and you're thinking about them, tell them, hey, I'm just going to check in and see how you're doing. It can deal with mental health, like just be in general, because tomorrow's not a given, and you know, the future is just question marks, if that makes any sense what I'm saying. But still, but at the end of the day, do good deed, pay it forward. Thank you guys for a great, amazing 2 years. Here's hopefully for another one. And Dennis can be like, wow, you made it to 3. Holy crap, you're still alive.
Well, I knew you'd still be alive. The show, on the other hand, and I predict I'll be here for year 4, maybe 5.
And then we'll see how the tournament goes. But we do have some ideas in the pipeline. Drew knows a few of them, and a few others know about it. We're going to try to make you guys more entertained. We're going to give you guys more stuff other than wrestling and on this channel, and because the TV station just didn't go. So we're just going to make sure you guys are happy. And again, with the way the world is, make sure you say how you really feel to someone, because it might be the last words you say to them.
You're right.
So that's why
I'm going to take that and say, fuck you, Drew. I really want to say that. You're holding my belt. Actually, in all fairness, throwback. God damn it, I love you. You, throwback, should not be the one wrapping up this show, because it should be us thanking you for an amazing 2 years, not you thanking all of us. You've affected each one of us in different ways. You, once again, have built an amazing community. Here's to you for 2 years.
Absolutely.
Hooray.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Well, the best way to end the show
And you know what? It's not going to be you this time because you do it every time. Ladies and gentlemen, do a good deed, pay it forward.